You are now listening to the M.K.P podcast.
Oh, it's been a while. I've forgotten how to do this.
Yeah,
Right, I'll take it away. Hello and welcome to episode 29 of the M.K.P podcast. I am your host, Matt the Man. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Paul the Pal and Kush the Ketamine Addict. How are you doing, man?
Huh?
I'm eating a great steak, mate.
You
I
know
just thought I'd
what?
let you know that.
No.
I'm hungry, Paul. I haven't
Nice.
eaten anything. I'm waiting until this episode's over so I can have my scrumptious
Bro,
breakfast.
get a Greg's. Get a Greg's. I
I'm
went to the
getting a
one near
Greg's.
you. It's too good.
Nah, Paul, mate, I'm getting a
Get a
full-on
Greg's.
English.
Get a
I'm getting a full-on English breakfast, mate, Paul.
He's going for that bacon sausage.
Bro,
egg,
I'm going
beans.
all out. I'm going
This
all
is why
out.
we shouldn't record hungry.
He's
Nah.
This is
going
why
all
we
out.
shouldn't record hungry.
Nah, it's fine.
That is true. That is
Oh,
true.
we've been away for a little while. What have we been up to, boys?
You know what, Kush? I'll let you go first.
What has been happening?
MKP order.
Well, you know what? You know what I'm going to say.
But then wouldn't that mean I go first?
Yeah, that means.
Well, yeah, but you're not hearing. I'm joking, Matt. That's a
Was
joke.
it M.K.P order? What? You missed one.
Hey, you're the host. It doesn't count.
I'll go last. You'll lead into the next segue.
Sorry, I keep talking with my mouth full. I'm so sorry. Go on. I'm so
You
hungry.
recorded a bonus episode. Tell us about the bonus episode.
The bonus episode. That was actually really good, wasn't it, Paul? That was actually really good, wasn't it?
I thought that was really good. Great idea.
Yeah.
Great
You
idea.
basically.
When is it coming out?
Probably after this one. So
Yeah, when's it coming?
viewers are going to be confused as hell, but probably after.
Another bonus episode, but like I need one of you to record it with. It's one both of you could do as well, so it's great.
Yeah.
What's it about?
I want to do a tier list of all the Rocky movies.
Fuck it, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
You're down. You
I
just
don't-
need to get a time to do
If
it.
we have time,
Yeah.
we can literally just throw it in after, like, not in this one, but like, after recorded, finishing.
Yeah.
It could do. It won't be that long.
No, bro, we need a separate episode for Rocky. Rocky deserves that respect.
He actually does.
I mean, it is only still a bonus episode. I was saying to put Kush, Paul, tier lists. I think are just going to be bonus episode content.
Yeah, they
now.
should be.
I think that's probably a smart.
Easy bonus filler. The bonus filler stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's smart because it keeps these less than 2 hours, which is what we hated doing
Yeah,
anyway. So
We only want prime content in these
We do.
episodes now.
We do as well.
Sorry, we're revealing our secrets to the viewers. We've got to stop. We've got to stay on track.
Right.
Track.
What have I been up
What's he
to?
up to?
Yeah, go on.
We had Christmas. I'm working with a new setup now. I now have
Boy.
a big boy monitor. I also dropped about £120 on a capture card, so that's there's content coming soon with that. Wink.
Winky face, winky face.
When I actually use it, I will promote it on this podcast. Trust me. What else have we done? I've been watching that Boba Fett show.
Oh yeah, how is it?
It's good, but you guys need to fucking watch The Mandalorian first.
Yeah, I know.
In fact, I mean, it's pretty much a spoiler. The fact this show exists is pretty much a spoiler for The Mandalorian. Because the show, Boba Fett comes back in an episode for that, so it's pretty much a Mandalorian spoiler that the show even exists.
A lot of things are spoiled.
But at this point, it's been over a year, so like,
yeah.
it's on you if you've not seen it.
Yeah,
yet,
by
to be
now,
honest.
when it's a year past.
No, that I
Once
respect.
a year past, you should have at least watched, that certain show or something.
It's like No Way Home. I'm sorry, I'm going to be spoiling things in a
Oh,
year
yeah,
for No Way
100%.
Home if no
Yeah,
one's seen it.
100%.
Like, come on.
I mean, we've already spoiled.
Yeah,
we already
sorry,
spoiled No
guys.
Way Home in a
The
bonus
thing is,
episode.
there's no way you can't know. Everyone must know what happens in it now. Everyone.
I know people who haven't seen it who know what happens.
Yeah.
Or who know who's in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I've had to see it. Well, we didn't see it open
That's
night,
why. Yeah, that's why we had to see like opening weekends. We didn't have
Yeah.
that spoiled.
but,
And he's like, we were always going to see that opening weekend anyway. Let's be
yeah,
honest.
yeah, exactly.
You guys had a good Christmas, yeah?
Bro.
I forgot that happened since we last
Yeah,
did
I
an
don't
Yeah, I
episode.
was just thinking that. Well, no, mine was all right. I've had a lot of college work during early Jan, so I couldn't really enjoy Christmas, which was annoying. But it is what it is. I enjoyed Christmas Day.
I've been a hard uni working man. Hard uni working man. I was back on live radio. In fact, I hosted a whole radio show.
Yes, that's why.
That's really good, you know.
Yeah.
That's what we can record last week.
Yeah, and well done for
It
that.
was decent. It was decent. You know, you can actually listen to the like sort of like the highlights and stuff of it. Actually, if you wanted to, I could send you the link.
Give us a link.
It's either the highlights or it's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Music for that. I've no idea, but
No, I watched the whole thing. It's the whole thing. I'm down for that.
it was fun. We did a gaming music quiz where I pulled out 10 game song soundtracks, and they had to guess what was what. That was a lot of fun to do.
Struggle with gaming ones. I might do all right with movie soundtracks.
No, we did game soundtrack because it was they were talking about Pokemon beforehand, and we wanted to do a gaming related quiz. Yeah. And considering I am the quiz master of this podcast, I put together a quiz for the radio show.
Yeah.
Joe, I warned them of beforehand. I said, "Oh, you guys won't know from my podcast, but like on my podcast, we do quizzes, and I can be alright."
We've experienced that. Yeah.
But you know what?
Piss take. Such a joke.
the pain I have put you through for
the trauma that I feel in my brain right now.
The pain I've put you through over the last year and a bit.
Matt, you make me want to cry sometimes.
I do, and we love it. We love it.
Great
good content.
No, it's good content. Making people cry is always good.
Moving on to our first topic, though, was something I wanted to talk about on the podcast and didn't want to just save for a bonus. Because we've talked about this before on the podcast, like twice now, and I kind of want to wrap up the saga of talking about this topic. Something I did do since the last episode we recorded is I finally got around to playing Life is Strange True Colors.
Oh yeah, shit.
For those who might not remember, we previously talked about this game on the podcast.
Yeah.
When it was revealed, and then I think when it started to come out, we kind of made fun of how the superpower in the game was really stupid. And I kind of made like criticisms about how Life is Strange was never really the same after the first game. And like the first game was like untoppable. I finally played the new one, Life is Strange True Colors, which was produced by a different company to the people who made the first Life is Strange. This one was made by the same people who made the prequel to the first game. It's confusing. Don't make me go into depth. And I do have to say, it's a case of don't judge a book by its cover in this case, because the game was really fucking good.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough.
The game was really fucking good. Like, hats off where it's due. This game was actually really. This game was so much better than I thought it was going to be.
I think
so much better.
You set your bar so low that it was probably only mediocre.
I've been excited for. I was excited for. I didn't play Life is Strange 1 when it came out. I played it about 2 years after it first came out.
Okay.
In like 2017. So I played the sequel, Life is Strange before this. Sorry, the prequel to the first game, Life is Strange Before the Storm. I played that as that released. Because these released episodically, like like the Telltale games used to do.
Yeah, like Walking Dead. Yeah.
And I played Life is Strange 2, which was the sequel. I played that episodically as it released.
Yeah.
And when I played both those games, I was like super hyped for them. I played them each episode as it came out. Wow. I like dedicated just whole days to just sitting down and playing through like each episode at times. Like, discovering like all the little secrets and stuff and getting like the achievements. And those games just, honestly, they just did not live up to the bar of the first one for it. They're not bad games by any means. Being the worst Life is Strange game is like being the worst like part of a cookie. Like, it's like the least exciting part, but it's still a cookie, if you get what I mean.
I get
that's gonna become a glue sandwich gloat. That's gonna become a glue sandwich gloat.
No, we got more crust of the sandwich. It's the crust of the sandwich we like.
Yeah, no, it's
crust of the sandwich is
it's like they're weak.
Yeah,
but they're still good. They're still good games.
Still, yeah. Well, to me,
Like,
that's how I view Marvel movies. You see, because I don't.
Yeah.
All Marvel movies to me are good, but there are some that are so shit compared to the
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
But they're all good in their own right. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
But it's like the first game was so good.
Yeah.
It had a great story. It had great characters. It had an interesting mystery to it as well. It was like superpowers.
Yeah.
It was like something out of like Twin Peaks or something. Like it was really good. It had like this great small town mystery. You had superpowers mixed in.
Yeah.
It was a great game, and it had like
yeah.
a very great sort of ending as well. And like honestly, the games after it just never topped it.
No.
Like the prequel, Before the Storm, a lot of people love, but to me, when I play it, it's like there's no meat here. It's like you have the bread here. Like it just feels like a prequel, like any other crappy prequel. It's like you've got the bread, but you have no meat here.
There's no zing. There's no extra zing to it.
Yeah. Plus, the
Makes
game
sense.
seems to want to like constantly reference the first game, which made no
Yeah.
sense considering this game was set like
It's set
3
before.
years prior to the first game.
Yeah.
So it's like some of these references are just there for fan service. They don't even make
Yeah.
sense.
They don't serve any purpose.
Yeah, and
Which, yeah, I get you.
but it was a fine game. It had a bonus episode which was really fucking good. But and then the second one was made by the same people who made the original, and it just did not live up. They changed up the whole cast of characters, which I wasn't. They did again for this new one, but it was like I didn't mind that too much. But like the story pretty much did like this game pretty much did away with everything I loved about the first one.
Yeah.
You couldn't control a superpower in the game. The story was it got rid of like the small town mystery and was instead a story of just walking across the United States trying to evade police. It got rid any characters they introduced in the game were likable, but the problem is you couldn't get invested in the characters because all but like a handful of characters were actually in this game for more than one episode. So it was like you couldn't get invested in any characters except for the main two, and one of the main two was fucking annoying. Like you didn't like him. So it just did away with a lot of what made the first game, in my opinion, like the small town mystery, the superpowers, and like it was a cool power they had in it. It's just you don't get to use it. And it just didn't feel like the first one, in my opinion. But this new one that just came out, True Colors, this one was interesting because this one actually felt like I was playing the first one again.
Yeah.
Like you can control the superpower. It brings back that small town mystery again. It gives you a cast of interesting characters that are either relatable or like you like.
Yeah.
And like, you get invested in the stories of. And I was playing it. And as well, this game didn't release episodically. So this one was broken into episodes like all the others, but they released it as like all one game.
Okay.
Rather than releasing it episodically. And I think that might have been why it felt so like much like the first game to me. Is because I like the first game, I played it all in one hit. Like I didn't wait months for each episode to release. I mean, Life is Strange 2, that one took over a year to release every single episode. The first episode of that game came out in like September 2018. The last episode came out December 2019.
Jeez.
Like that game took so long to like fully release. It was wild.
That is a while. That is a long time.
Yeah. But like this new one, this one is one I can actually say like, yeah, I recommend this one.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you don't even need to play like the others to be invested in it. There's one character in this game that's from a previous Life is Strange game.
Yeah.
And she has a bonus episode that kind of requires you to play the other games.
But if it's only
like,
a bonus
the story itself of this game does not.
Yeah.
It is like it doesn't require. That's the thing with Life is Strange. They don't really require you to play the others except for that prequel one.
I do like when games and well, obviously TV as well do that because it just makes it easier to.
Yeah, obviously, I'm still going to recommend the first. This one still wasn't better than the first one.
No,
I still much prefer the first Life is Strange, but that one's like nostalgic for me now because it's been like 5 years since I first played it.
Yeah.
So that one's like nostalgic for me now. But this one is one I could actually say, yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend this one. It was very good. The main character was interesting. The power itself actually does. I must admit, the power is still kind of stupid, but they use it so like interestingly.
Yeah.
And
Well,
use it, they find really interesting ways to use it.
Fair enough. What was the power in this one?
It was power of like she was an empath. So you know, like Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
She basically had her power.
Okay. The thing is, it's one of like it's a bit weak. It's a bit of a weak one. There's not.
It's a weak
loads
power. I mean,
of-
the first game had time travel, and the second game had telekinesis. So
Yeah, that was actually good.
and then the prequel game had no power. So
Yeah.
it's still winning over that one in my opinion.
Still being the prequel.
Yeah, but no, this game was very good. The story was great. I'm not going to spoil it in case one of you does decide to play it down the line.
Respect.
But the story was great. It had a mystery to it again. It was really short as well. I think this was actually the shortest game, except for maybe the prequel one, because that game was only 3 episodes long. So I think in terms of Life is Strange 1, 2, and then this one, I think this one was actually the shortest,
Really?
which I think it was actually. I think actually helped it in the long run.
Yeah, because I suppose you don't need to drag out too much. Do you?
Yeah, you don't feel like you're just sat there for ages, just slowly pacing your way through the story. Because that's one of the things I hated about Life is Strange 2 as well, is the episodes were so fucking long. Like, if you were trying to do everything in those episodes, it was taking you a minimum of 3 hours.
Really?
Like, it was insanely long.
Like, it's too much.
I'm pretty sure there was one episode of Life is Strange 2 which took me. Because I like to do everything and try and find all like little secrets. I do it in every video game, not just these. But I try and do everything and explore the world and get like piece of like lore and stuff. And I shit you not, I ended up having to skip a load of stuff in this episode because it was taking me like nearly 6 hours. And I was like, holy fuck, I need to stop. Like, this is taking too fucking long.
You don't want to get addicted to, or too addicted.
And it was just so, yeah. But this one actually lacked a lot of that. There's a lot less like slow pacing stuff in this game. Like, it keeps you going. And I thought it was good. I thought, honestly, despite my expectations being low, it actually surprised me. It was actually a very good game.
Okay.
I must say. So don't judge a book by its cover.
Is there a remasters?
No, I
coming
that.
soon or something?
Respect that.
Yeah.
And that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a Life is Strange remastered collection releasing in.
Can't remember. I know it's coming out in February. Yeah.
A few days' time, February 1st, I think. So this collection is a remastered version of the original game, Life is Strange 1, and its prequel game, Life is Strange Before the Storm. Thing is, I looked at it. It would cost you less to get the 2 original versions on like Xbox One or PS4 than it would cost you to get like this combined version. But see, I'm annoyed as well because the only reason I was really interested in the remastered collection, because I can go back and play these games whenever the fuck I want. Like, I still have the original versions, so I didn't really care about. In fact, I think the remastered edition kind of looks worse in some parts than the original versions. Like, they fixed some things, like the abysmal lip syncing from the original game. They've fixed, so they fixed some stuff. But like, the reason I was excited for this game or this version was mostly because it was coming to Nintendo Switch. And I was just excited because I was like, oh, the first Life is Strange on Nintendo Switch. It's like what I've been asking for. But the Switch version's been delayed. So, which I kind of predicted, yeah. So I'm going to have to wait probably a few months longer to play the remastered collection. I'm not bothering getting it on PlayStation 4 or Xbox. I'm gonna wait for it to release on the Switch. I'll get it on the Switch.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's fair enough.
No, yes, Chris, you are correct. There is a remastered collection releasing in a couple of days' time.
Yeah,
should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks all right. There are parts that looked improved, but like some of the new character models I look at and I'm like, holy shit, they actually made them look worse. How's that possible?
Didn't they do that with GTA 5 when they remastered it? I swear,
Wait,
we were
for-
talking about this like ages ago. When they remastered it, they just made it worse.
Yes, the new
Oh,
versions
yeah,
of
yeah,
GTA
yeah,
5
yeah.
that are coming out on the
Nah,
PS5
Yeah.
would somehow look worse than the
Well,
version
yeah,
on
ex-
PS4.
I,
Yeah.
No, they somehow look worse than the versions on PS3. Like, how is that even possible?
it's just no, it doesn't make sense, does it?
Like
Lazy.
the reveal trailer for the PS5 versions of GTA had graphical glitches. Like what? How? This game is nearly 10 years old.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm starting to think they'll never make a GTA 6, to be honest.
Well, I don't see it happening because haven't they like extended it to like the
Bro, GTA 5,
GTA
GTA. I don't think people realize GTA 5 is GTA 5 is not only is not just like
Yeah.
highest selling game of all time. It's the highest selling like piece of media of all time.
Yeah, it's big. It's big.
Like it's like the highest grossing piece of media ever created. Like it's not going anywhere. GTA Online will continue to be pumped out. Like there are still kids like getting into video games. They're like, oh, GTA 5, I've seen all my friends play that, so they buy it still today. That's why you see it.
It's true.
That's why you still see GTA 5 in amongst all the new games at like shops and stuff. You still can find it in like Tesco and shit. Because it's just that popular.
Yeah.
So like it's not going anywhere is the problem. And there's no GTA 6. As massive as GTA 6 would be, I don't think they're ever going to make it at this point.
No, they probably wouldn't even take the risk if they've got GTA 5. They're still munching money off of. There wouldn't be any point.
I don't trust Rockstar anymore anyway after they shut out GTA Definitive Edition and charged 50 quid for it. That piece of ass.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, I
GTA
did.
5. I don't know if we talked about it or not.
played-
Did you see the GTA 5 Definitive Edition?
Yeah.
I can't remember what I've seen it.
Boy, that
I played
shit was
what's it?
broken. That shit was broken.
That shit was dumb.
Bro, they hired a mobile game developer to remaster the GTA series, and it came out ass. It came out so fucking broken.
But a mobile game. Oh my god.
Yeah, they got mobile game developers to remaster these games, and then they can shout them out.
Nintendo was shit.
They made them shit it out really quickly, and it came out like absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
How does this game look better on the PlayStation 2 than it does on the PS5? The game crashes frequently on the Switch.
Mm.
Like, how?
You know what's crazy, yeah?
All of them. They all crash frequently on the Switch. Like, fucking how?
Sheer laziness. Sheer.
It was laziness. It was absolute.
Yeah.
It was laziness mixed with Rockstar being like, "Oh, put it out for Christmas so we can make some quick money."
Yes, quick buck.
They didn't fucking care what like
Nah, you
state
know
they
what's
released
crazy?
it in because Rockstar don't give a
Hey.
shit about their fans.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's funny.
So I was gonna like pre-order it and then I didn't, and now I'm happy I didn't pre-order it because it's dog shit. I still haven't played it to this day. It's still broken apparently.
I played it.
Still
but
completely
my mate
busted.
bought the game. I didn't buy it. So
Even
I was
like
yeah.
3 months later.
I was like, yeah, I was lucky enough to not be named. It actually is as well. So it's too expensive. I think I don't know how much it is. Can't remember, but
Yeah.
Money, waste of money. It's like you're doing 2 jobs at the moment. It'd be such a waste of your 2 jobs just to buy
Bro,
that.
at this point,
Oh
I'm
my
starting to learn
god!
my
Yeah,
lesson
wait.
about, like,
Speaking
pre-ordering
of
video games, because anytime I pre-order a video game, it always comes fucking
speaking of
like
pre-ordering
broke on
video
day
games,
one.
just now, right now,
This
I've
is why I
just
don't
brought
pre-order video games.
Dying Light 2. I've just pre-ordered it. It's about I've just brought Dying Light 2 right now. It's like it cost me like 90 quid. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh no.
I've been waiting. Nah, that game I've been waiting for like 4 or 5
You
years.
may
now.
live
I
through
need that.
We'll see,
and it comes
we'll
out,
see.
And it's
I'll
been
give you one.
delayed because of COVID. So I'm just wait. I need to. I've literally just bought the game right now as we're talking and everything. So I need it, you know, bro.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that game for. I've been waiting for that game for years, man, and now it's finally coming out like next month.
He needs it. He needs the game.
Bro, oh the.
The first Starlight's pretty good, isn't it?
Actually, it is, you know,
So I've
yeah.
heard.
But
Right.
I think it's time we quickly and swiftly move on to our actual crux of this
hello.
episode. So, Mr. Fanky,
Mr. Fanky.
Ooh,
the rest of this
hello.
episode relies on you. No pressure.
And your very
It does.
creative mind.
Yes. So a little while ago, we teased the idea of doing another Kush Writes fanfiction type of episode.
Bear in mind, the first
Last
one
time?
was supposed to be that, really.
Yeah,
the first
last episode, I think we actually said we are going to make sure we do it this time around,
one. Yes.
and now we are.
What?
So, last time, you may remember we made Kush guess the plots of each Star Wars movie based on the title alone.
Yeah.
We are doing the same concept today. However, today, Mr. Kush, you will be writing stories, or you will be
Oh, no.
creating stories to tell to us of episode titles of every single Doctor from Doctor Who.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one.
Paul and I are very excited for this one. There are some out there titles.
Oh,
So
no.
what I've done is I've pulled one episode title or story title, whatever you want to call it, from each Doctor from Doctor Who. All 13 Doctors. Pulled an episode title of each of them.
Yes.
And you, Mr. Kush, have to guess the story of that episode based solely around just the title.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to
He
this.
is not excited for.
I'm kind of not, to be honest with you, because I just nah.
Bro, you
I don't
came
know
with so
what
much
I'm-
creative freedom in the Star Wars one.
Thing is,
Yeah.
Chris, you've got to think some of these are going to be classic Who, and I'm a bit touchy on classic Who, so there might be some that I'm not going to know. So don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. That's no
Yeah,
pressure.
actually, I've seen personally, and I've actually seen all of these, but I've seen all of these episodes. Paul, you might not have actually seen the majority of these. So I tell you what, Paul, if you
Yeah.
haven't seen one of these episodes,
I'll
say
join
to
you.
Kush, I'll help you with this one.
Yes. This sounds really fun.
Because at least then you can sort of like direct him on like each Doctor's personality, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
True.
And you can at least maybe help him through.
Okay.
All right. Kush,
Let's go.
are you ready?
Are
go.
you ready?
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's
Let's
have
go.
The first Doctor episode I'm going to give you
Yeah.
is An Unearthly Child.
Who?
I
Wait,
watched this
what?
one recently, so I can't join in, I'm afraid.
So this is an episode from the first Doctor. This episode came out in 1963. This is the first ever Doctor Who episode.
Also came
It's
out the
called
same.
An Unearthly Child.
On Earth. That's the title of the episode. On Earthly Child.
Yeah.
Yeah, An
Oh.
Unearthly Child.
On Earthly
Interesting
Child.
fact: it came out the day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and if I remember
The
right,
day
we
after.
released it the day
Day
after.
after John F. Kennedy was shot
Yeah.
and killed. But that doesn't really help him with like the story of it.
Then
No,
that's
it
just an
doesn't.
interesting factoid.
Okay. Can I mention JF Kennedy in this? Because I have a feeling he might
No,
be
no.
thoroughly.
The episode was filmed before he died, right?
Oh, it was filmed before he died. Oh shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it was released. It was released like the day
It was
before.
released the day after John F. Kennedy was shot and killed in Dallas.
Oh shit. Okay
Yeah, that's-
then. Okay, my bad. So basically,
No, I agree with that.
Unearthly Child. So,
Unearthly.
oh, this is just a jumble of words at this rate. All right. So basically,
Yeah. Right. All right, begins.
where does it begin? Where would it begin? So, Unearthly Child.
Turn my computer volume up for this.
Let's just say it involves a child getting kidnapped, I reckon. Getting kidnapped.
Fair
yeah.
enough. Fair enough.
Hold on, I'm writing this down. Getting kidnapped. And basically, so a child
This
is
is
getting
very like
kidnapped.
this is Doctor Who. This is Doctor Who. It's a fairly light show.
Let
Yeah.
him run with it. Let him run with it.
No.
It's his
So
thing, he
a child is
decides.
getting kidnapped. Yeah. So whoever plays the Doctor, I don't.
Wait, I've just realised you started Star Wars with a kidnapping as well.
Bro, that,
You
bro,
all your franchises with a kidnapping.
where else am
I'm
I
just waiting for that. No, I'm just
Where
waiting
else
for the
am I-
Watson and that.
I don't know where else to start here, boys. To be honest with you, I'm just gonna
No,
go with it.
go with it. Run with it, mate. Run with it.
So
You
so
can
a
run with
child's
it,
getting
lad, run with
kidnapped, yeah. But this child is
Yeah.
not from Earth. It comes from another universe. And apparently, this
Okay.
child, there's some value in this child. So this child actually goes for a lot of money. So whoever kidnapped this child, yeah, basically wants to sell it on a black market, you know, to get some more money and everything. And then this is where the Doctor comes in. He saves the day. He saves the child, and there you go. So yeah, that whole episode is basically on a child who is this child who comes from another universe, gets kidnapped by these, I don't know, some like random people, and then the Doctor, saves this child, takes him back to his own universe by I don't know, somehow time travel, and I don't know, and then
Remind me what the time machine is called, Paul.
Yup.
Remind Kusha what the time machine in Doctor Who is called.
I do
It's
know what-
called a TARDIS.
TARDIS, that's it.
Non-relative
Yeah.
dimensional space.
The TARDIS didn't exist
Alright.
until later on. It didn't exist. No one knew what a TARDIS was back in the 1960s. No one knew what a TARDIS
It had
was.
another name. It had another name. It was just called a police box.
Oh shit! A police box.
I'll tell you what, that plot sounds very interesting in its own
That is
right.
wild. Do we tell him the plots of the? I guess we can.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
you're
you might
right
as
about
well.
the child part. The
Well, we
child.
can tell him the plots of these. So we'll just read Kush's plot back quickly.
Yes.
Starts with a child being an unearthly child. Doctor Who, Episode 1, Season 1, 1963.
I don't want to hear these.
Starts with a child being kidnapped.
Yeah.
The child is kidnapped by random people,
Yeah.
but the child is also from another universe.
Yes.
The child is worth a lot of money, and is to
Yeah.
be sold on the black market.
Yeah.
God knows what black market, but
Just some sort of market. Some sort of market where
then
they sell
out of
kids.
nowhere, the Doctor saves the child, and there you go. Oh god,
It's
Oh,
like
I'm allergic to bad fan fiction.
it's like Taken, but the sci-fi version of Taken. In
It's
some
taken
way.
before taken.
Taken before. Taken before it's taken.
All right. So, do you want to know what the actual plot to an
Yeah, let's
unearthly
actually
child
hear
is,
the actual
Kush?
plot. Yeah, let's actually hear the actual plot of this. Yeah.
So it's about the Doctor. It's about this child called Susan Foreman. She's about 15, 14 years old.
She looks 20, but she's supposed to be. Yes.
Yeah, she's supposed to look about 14. She looks about 20, but the actress was. And she's like really like smart, but also kind of dumb, and like her teachers like don't understand her.
Yeah.
So her teachers then proceed to follow her home.
Yeah.
So a bit dodgy in some ways.
It is very dodgy when you really think about it. They proceed to follow her home
Yeah.
because they want to talk to her parents.
Right.
And they follow her to a junkyard
Right.
or like a dump, where they go inside and they see an old man standing outside a police box, just sort of like chilling. They can't find Susan anywhere.
Yeah.
So they go up to him. They're like, "Oh, well, we're looking for this girl. She's one of our students." And this old man is the Doctor. He basically tells them to fuck off
Yeah.
until they accuse him of. You kind of got the kidnapping part right, because then they accuse the Doctor of kidnapping.
There
Yes.
you go.
That
There
is
you go.
true. That is true.
They break into the police box, which ends up being the TARDIS.
Oh,
So,
shit.
they did know what a
So the
TARDIS was in
TARDIS does exist.
1963. Where they find inside that the police box is much bigger and it is basically a spaceship. They find Susan in there, where Susan and the Doctor explain that they are not actually from Earth; they're from another planet. They're confused, and the Doctor essentially kidnaps them because he's afraid that they'll tell all their friends about how they met some aliens with a magic police box. And then they fly away from Earth and they go back in time where they end up in
Well, they make
like,
fire.
the era.
They make fire.
And then that's the episode. There is a bit more to it after that with the caveman stuff, but that's essentially
That's just filler.
we just skip
That
that.
stuff drags
Yeah,
a
we
bit in
skip
my
that, we
opinion
skip
because
that.
it's just them making fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
But there you go. You kind of got some of the kidnapping part.
I was thinking that.
I mean, the Doctor does end this episode by kidnapping 2 teachers.
I mean,
like...
it always involves a kidnap. Like, there's always kidnaps apparently involved everywhere.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah. I don't know about the child being from another universe thing and being worth a lot of money or sold on the black market. That's
we
that's
just
nowhere
skip. We
near.
skip
That
that
would have
part.
been
Nah, we
part
skip
for-
that part. It's fine.
Doctor Who was supposed to be an educational show during this episode, but
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but
No,
yeah, no, that's an unearthly child. It's
Yeah, she's
very
not gonna
dodgy
have
how
to
they
do that, right?
actually follow her home,
Yeah.
but you know, it is what it is. It was 1963, a different time period, I guess.
I was gonna say things were very different back then. Very different.
All right. Now we come up to the episode on this list that I'm probably least familiar with, but I have seen.
Yeah.
This is a second Doctor episode. This is season 6, episode 38, I believe, something like that. I don't know. It's from season 6. It's from 1969.
Okay.
It's called The War Games.
Ooh. War games.
All seems to recognise this episode.
Well, part 10, I think he's going to struggle with, but the rest is probably.
Yeah, oh yeah, we should probably tell Kush there's like 10 parts. of
Why
this.
is there so
it's a very
much?
long episode. You're going to be sat there for a while.
Why is there so much? Like, no wonder.
I think it's the longest classic Doctor Who.
I think it is.
I think it's the longest classic
Bro,
Doctor Who episode because it's the only one like split into 10 parts.
Bro, this is why everyone's giving up on Doctor Who now because no one watches it, man. Because this is long.
1969.
Yeah, no one watches it now. No one watches that, and then no one had time. No one had time to watch 10 parts of freaking Doctor Who. Like I don't know.
Well, to be fair, which one you
Because I've seen it all
part
before.
10, you get the gist of the episode.
Oh, I don't even know where to.
Part 9 and 10 is
I
probably all
don't
you
know where to start from here. To be honest with you.
Let's guess roughly what you think the whole story's about.
Okay, so basically, someone gets kidnapped. No, I'm joking. I'm scrap that. I'm joking. Right.
What gets
Okay, so whoever played the Doctor,
I mean,
whoever played the Doctor in this one, okay, I think I might have a plot. Whoever played the Doctor in this one, right? Basically, he finds out that there is another Doctor out there, yeah? You know, similar. So basically,
Yeah.
they basically both go to war. Basically they both go to war. And battle it out to see who's the better Doctor. That's all I can give for that one. There you go.
sounds like the two Doctors.
Two Doctors.
Although that's a common.
They go at war.
Wait, Paul, you don't know. Paul, you don't know whatever episodes are coming up on this list, like.
Oh God, no, it's not on there, is it?
All right. Over the course of the episode, they battle it out. Any other ways they fight? Any ways in particular?
They just go to like a Viking sort of battlefield and they just battle it out there. You know, that's it.
Do they have swords? Do they have swords and
what?
shields? Swords and shields. Do they have proper war?
Nah, there's like fist
They have
fight.
proper weapons.
Fist fight. Like they gotta do it manly, you know. Yeah, you
Fist
gotta do it
fight,
manly.
fair
Like there wasn't like tech
God,
wasn't
yeah, no, I
that
respect that.
big then. Like you know, so you know they had to use their fists. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it. But
I respect it.
but that's what.
No tech, so
Yeah,
they use
no
their
tech,
fists.
so they use their fists.
We fight with fists.
It's 10 parts of them just having a boxing match.
Yeah, basically.
Each episode is just one round.
Yeah, basically, yeah. That would be my guess. There's a like a clone Doctor and then yeah, they both battle it out to see, you know, who's the yeah.
All right. So reading this back, the Doctor finds out there's another
Yeah.
Doctor. They
Yeah.
go to war. Over the course of the story, they battle it out
All 10 parts.
on a Viking battlefield, and they have no tech, so they just
Yeah.
have fist fights.
Yeah,
for
you
the
might as
entire
well
thing.
manly.
Who ends up winning? Who wins, Kush? Who wins?
Who wins? Main Doctor
Oh,
or
who
Clone
wins?
Doctor?
Oh, obviously the main Doctor, you know, because you know, like that's just how it is, you know. Yeah, the main
Yeah.
Doctor wins.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then the main
Yes.
Doctor wins. From what I can loosely remember of it, do you
Yeah,
want to know
let's
what
hear
the
the actual
actual
story,
like
yeah.
plot of this is?
I think I remember this, honestly. Go on.
It is very complex. Like I really put this one in here to throw you off, and then realize this one throws
Okay.
me off as well.
Shall I have a go? Because if we probably remember the same amount.
You have a go. You have a go.
I'll have a go. So
Have you seen War Games, Paul?
I have seen it once. From what I remember, there was a
Yeah.
Time Lord called the Warlord, or Time Lord, was it Warlord?
So the Doctor is someone from the same species as the Doctor. He's called the Warlord, essentially.
And he basically, I think I remember, he makes him and his companions take part in a load of like war games. And then for some reason it took 9 parts to do that. Then the Doctor gets help from his own species, which is the Time Lords. They defeat the Warlord, but then they put him on trial. For actually, you need more context to Doctor Who in general. But
So in like part 9, the Doctor contacts his own species to come and help him like get rid of this guy, the Warlord. And then part 10's where it like really ramps up because they get rid of the Warlord pretty fucking easily. Like just showing how powerful they are. But then they're like, right, well, you've actually broken our laws as well, so we're gonna put you on trial. Eventually, they wipe his like friends' minds. They wipe the Doctor's friends' minds and send them back to like where they came from without them remembering the Doctor.
noble, really.
Yeah, and then they take the Doctor and they're like, right, well, you've broken laws, but we're not gonna like imprison you. And you have done good for the universe, so we'll let you keep doing it. But we're gonna exile you to Earth, and you have to like stay there for the next few years, and we're also gonna make you regenerate into a different actor.
John Pertwee.
So the episode so the story literally ends with the Doctor pretty much being killed by his own people and changing into another Doctor.
It's a very good. It's a very interesting content.
It's a very it's a very like intrinsic story. Like there's a lot like sort of that happens and
It
sort
didn't
of
need 10
interlinks.
parts. It did not need 10 parts.
When you rewatch it, people like say it is one of the best, and I'm sure it is. But
I told you,
10 parts, you definitely feel.
I told you it's pointless.
No, that just takes hours. But that's very good.
That's why they never did another 10-parter episode again. To be honest, Paul.
No, I don't think there was another, was there?
This was like the last one they did in the 60s, and it was like the only 10-parter they ever did, and they never did another 10-parter.
That would have taken 10 weeks to transmit. Thinking about it, because they did one a week, didn't they?
No.
10 weeks of the same fucking stuff.
It took. I think it took them like 2 weeks to air the entire thing.
2.
Something like it took something ridiculous to air the entire thing.
I would have been like 10. I was short. Like,
Wait, let's have a look. Let me have a look.
But yeah, Kush, the interesting fact about this episode, it's the first appearance of the time.
Wait, no, definitely didn't take 2 weeks, right? So the first episode of this came out on the 19th of April, 1969, and it ended on the 21st of June, 1969.
Wait, say that again.
It started on the 19th of April, 1969, and it finished on 21st of June, 1969. I think it's the longest one if you don't count Trial of a Time Lord as all one story.
Well, the thing is,
separate stories.
That was a series more than like a one.
Yeah, but Trial of a Time Lord also breaks up into like separate stories, but it's also one big like connected story. I don't know. Trial of a Time Lord's weird.
Yeah.
It's a strange one. I've still got to watch it, but you know, I haven't got my hopes up for it.
It's not worth it because a lot of Trial of the Time Lord is shite. Like so, like there's a few highlights of Trial of a Time Lord, but the majority of it is fucking wank. Like, Anyway, here we have our first, or we have our only
Yes.
third Doctor
Yeah.
episode for you, Kush. This is the very next episode after the War Games.
Are you doing this? Okay.
This is the very next episode after the War Games. So it's the third Doctor's first ever episode after he becomes the Doctor. It aired in 1970. It's called
Wait, what's it
Spearhead
called?
from Space.
Oh,
Spearhead
Spearhead from
from
Space.
I'm debating whether to help him because I don't think I remember anything. I remember one thing that might not even be in the episode from this.
You might help him out for this one then, Paul.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
Help Kush out for this one.
There's literally one thing I remember. All I remember, and I think I might be wrong on this, but I'm sure there's autons in this episode.
Tell him what an auton actually is.
Well, that's a good point. That's a good point.
I want to remind him what an auton actually is. I'm sure he'll probably know if you tell him, but you might want to actually explain to him what an auton is.
An auton is basically a plastic creature that's control. I don't know if you ever. We probably not, but there's an episode of New Who where plastic shop window dummies get controlled by this alien. It's basically that. That's a shit explanation, but
they're essentially killer mannequins.
They're killer mannequins. They're plastic that moves. Yeah, they have guns in their hands, so it's pretty cool.
I'll have to.
But I'm pretty. Matt, can you confirm or deny them in that episode, or are you just going to let me have to work that out for myself?
They are in this episode. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know where.
I don't even know where to start with this one myself.
I actually have.
This is actually a very good
idea
episode.
where to start.
Actually,
I'm
I do like
so
Spearhead from
serious.
Space.
I'm blank right now. Where do I even start?
You could start with the fact that it's just after he's regenerated, so it's a new Doctor.
So John Pertwee's Doctor stranded on Earth. TARDIS can't fly anywhere else in space, so he starts adjusting to life on Earth. He is also maybe having some negative side effects from his regeneration. I don't know. I'm gathering he meets. Oh, what was her name? Oh, fuck, what was her name? I know there's a companion at the start of his Doctor while they're on Earth. I just forget her name.
Kush, anything to contribute to this one? This is still your run
I'm
through.
still blank, but where do I even start? Where do I even start with this one?
What's her name?
Spear.
Think of the name Spearhead from Space. What
This
do you
might sound
get
very
when you hear
controversial,
Spearhead
but
from Space?
I think of a spearheaded man
So,
coming from space, invading Earth. A guy who somehow has a spear on his head. Yeah, he uses that as a weapon. Invades Earth, attacks this regenerated Doctor or whatever, but obviously because the Doctor is the Doctor, he somehow fights back and
Don't forget, you've still
these
got
mannequins
killer,
as well.
mannequins as well.
Somehow,
Okay.
there's more parts to this episode as well. So they're apparently, where are they?
There's 4 parts to
Wait,
this
are
one.
these-
This one is not
what
as
are they
long
called
as.
again?
Wow.
What are they called again? The things?
Autons.
Autons. Are they?
Autons.
Mannequins. They're called autons.
Oh, are they a good thing? Are they good or
No,
They're
killer
bad. They're very
mannequins.
bad.
They're evil.
they're evil? Okay, so
Their job's to kill people.
Okay, so the spearheaded man comes and invades, yeah, and he calls for backup, so he calls those Autons to help him. Yeah, and then
Hang on, Kush. Though, let's think. This spearheaded man. Perhaps he's the one controlling the Autons.
he is.
And maybe they're just normal plastic, and then he starts controlling because that's what happens. They manipulate the plastic, and then the plastic comes to life. Maybe it's like that. So
What's putting it off so much is the fact that he called them plastic. I'm so confused on how they're plastic.
Just,
they
just plastic that comes to life.
whatever alien controls them, they send this signal and it manipulates the plastic, so the plastic can start walking and killing.
Oh, okay.
It's weird sci-fi. Run with it.
I was gonna say it's very sci-fi.
Yeah, this is very, very new to me. Like, this sounds very new to me.
Marvel would never have the balls.
Marvel,
They would not have the ball.
Marvel will never do anything like this in a million years.
Marvel would never have the balls to do evil killer mannequins.
Well, they would never, you know. Alright.
But they care too much about the action rather than the why it's happening.
I promise, Kush, you'll have a lot more to go off of in the next episode. Just get this one out of the way.
Okay,
I'm looking forward to the next
so
one.
Spearheaded Man
Right, so Kush, where are we? So Spearheaded Man
invades,
arrives on Earth.
yeah. Attacks his doctor.
So I get
This regenerated doctor, apparently he is.
So he's probably weaker than normal, I'm guessing,
Yeah,
because he's just regenerated.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. But so to make the
getting-
doctor weaker, the spearheaded man calls these autons to back up. In the end, Ozzy the doctor still wins because, you know, the doctor's the doctor. You know, he always
He's
comes
the
out.
doctor, isn't he?
He's smart.
He's
He's smart. So, you know,
a smart man.
he is. So yeah. So he wins the battle, obviously. What else?
What does the Doctor do about the Autons?
I don't know. Probably just have.
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know. Maybe have like a cup of tea with him or something. I don't know.
Tell them to go away.
Maybe he just. Yeah, he would probably send like a signal to deactivate them to stop them, to cancel out the signal that's controlling them.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's throw that
Let's do
in.
that.
Yeah. Because
Throw that in.
what else? Don't know what else happens actually. Sure.
It's-
I don't know.
You could leave it there.
I could leave it.
That's a
Yeah.
different episode.
I mean, I might leave that one to that
Yeah.
one.
All right.
Yeah.
So your rundown of Spearhead from Space Boys. A new Doctor adjusts to life on
Yes.
Earth.
Yeah.
A man with a spear on his head arrives from space.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And he attacks the Doctor.
Indeed. He did. He does.
But the Doctor is still able to like win the fight, sort of. So the Spearhead man calls the Autons for backup.
What?
And it turns out that he actually controls the Autons.
Yes.
The Doctor is still weak after his regeneration, but he manages to defeat the Spearheaded man, and then he deactivates the Autons, and then he rides off into the sunset with some ice cream.
Yes.
I did that pie in there for.
Yeah, you might as well for extra flavour.
What flavour?
What flavor? Fucking strawberry.
Fine. Do what you want. Do what you want.
Blueberry.
Yeah. Why is it? Yeah. Why does it be like? Yeah.
I'm like that at the end. Doctor eats blueberry ice
Nah,
cream.
why is it blueberry? Why can it?
I mean,
Why
the man
not
had a celery
vanilla?
on his chest, so I wouldn't put it down.
Why doesn't he eat?
Yeah,
Yeah. Why
vanilla,
not like
vanilla.
space ice cream?
Vanilla ice cream then.
Space ice cream.
Space ice cream.
Yeah.
Doctor eats
Why not?
space
Yeah.
ice
Why does it have to
cream.
be? Why does it have to be
Alright, fuck it then. Doctor eats space ice
vanilla
cream.
space ice cream? Sorry.
Space
Vanilla
ice-
space.
Asteroid flavour.
From
That's
what I
right.
can remember of Spearhead from Space,
Yeah.
it's been a while since I've seen this one too.
Yeah.
The Doctor lands on Earth after being exiled by the Time Lords at the end of the last episode. While UNIT starts to investigate meteorite showers that are happening.
Forgot about unit.
I believe the meteorite showers are actually like the Nestine consciousness arriving on Earth, which then brings all the plastic dummies to life and they start killing people. And the Doctor kind of spends about an episode out with like sickness and then he comes back
Yeah.
towards the end. This is basically what I can remember from it. It was also known as Doctor Who and the Auton Invasion in some places.
Okay.
Um,
I would prefer that actually. It's quite cool. Quite cool name.
Nah, I don't actually know what.
I
This episode was also the episode that revealed that the Doctor has two hearts.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
I saw that in the trivia for this episode online. So, yeah, but the Doctor joins forces with UNIT, and they They stop the Autons, and
Yeah, there you go. Look.
I can't believe I forgot to mention that consciousness is very important for auto.
it's something along those lines. I'm probably butchering like the synopsis of it for anyone who actually like loves this episode more than I do. That's about what I can remember from it. But now, Kush, this title will give you a lot more to go off of.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this
This
one.
is an episode. Paul might actually know. Paul probably knows what's coming.
Yeah, I think if it's Tom Baker, I can guess what it's going to be.
So, this is an episode from quite a while ago. There were two I could have gone with, and the other one I almost did go with, but I decided to give you one that was a bit less broad. So you're going to know the villain of this story the minute you hear the title, because you will be familiar with these characters. This episode came out in 1975, Kush. It's called Genesis of the Daleks.
Why is this some Star Wars shit?
Kush, I'm sorry, but you're alone in this one, I'm afraid.
Wait,
I do remember this one.
Of the
Of the Daleks.
You must know what a Dalek is,
I've heard of
surely.
it. I think.
You know the things with like they look like tin
Yeah.
pots,
Oh,
and they've got the
yeah. I know
guns
what you're
and the
about.
suckers.
Oh, wait.
Sucky.
So this is.
Yeah.
Okay,
You must know what a
that's-
Dalek is.
Yeah. I know what it is. So it's the Genesis of Dalek. Ooh. Okay, so the Doctor in this, yeah, whoever plays in, I don't know who, he basically.
Oh.
Trying to think here.
Just think about the word Genesis. Think about what Genesis means. If you commit, what does it mean to commit an act of genocide?
No, that's not a Genesis. A Genesis is like a birth.
Okay,
Yeah, but
I was
that's essentially
thinking
what he's gonna
basically this Doctor.
I remember the end
I was
of-
gonna say, I was thinking in our head, but I didn't know how to put it. So this Doctor basically creates a Dalek. Yeah. He creates this Dalek thing. Whatever.
Does he do it on purpose or by accident?
Let's say he was trying to. Nah. He intend to make it. He intend to make it. He intends to make it, and one day he goes to use this. He creates it, and he goes to use it and stuff. However, it gets out of control. So it gets out of control, and this Dalek starts taking over a small town that he lives by, and so yeah, so basically, so he invades this town, and the Doctor tries to stop it, but this thing is too powerful. So but basically at the end he ends up getting some power, getting control of this thing. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what else I could say really. I don't know what else.
The Dalek gets control of what?
He gets
Dalek
control.
gets control of what?
Now at the end, so basically, like he restores and like basically, gets control. No, I don't know how to put. How do I put this?
Doctor makes
Yeah,
the Dalek
that's it. Yeah,
good
that's
again.
what I was meant to say. Yeah. Because at first
Okay.
it gets like out of control. He's done something, and then the Dalek goes invades some sort of town. But then at the end, he actually gets some sort of control again
Yeah.
and restores it and everything.
The Doctor can
Yeah.
get. Okay.
Okay. So the rundown for Genesis of the Daleks that we've got is the Doctor creates a Dalek, and he did intend to make it, but one day he goes to use it, and
Yeah.
it goes out of control. It takes over a small town that the Doctor lives by. The Dalek then gets control of a thing, but then at the end, the Doctor makes the Dalek good again. So that's
what
fine.
I would say. Yeah. Nah, there's no
And there's
kidnapping.
no kidnappings in between.
No kidnap. Dalek doesn't kidnap anyone.
Yeah, this is probably like the furthest you've been from an
shit.
action episode. I'm not gonna lie. So this episode, this story is like 6 parts long. This is my favorite Doctor Who story probably ever. I actually really like this one.
It is brilliant. It is brilliant.
One I've probably seen like most, but like it's basically set on a different planet. At the end of like a big war between these two sides. This big nuclear war that's pretty much like destroyed their planet. And this guy Davros has come up with a way to win the war, and it's by creating like these sort of like cyborg type like these like robot machines but have like mutants inside of them called Daleks. And he sets them on their enemies. They pretty much kill all of the opposing side, winning their side the war. The Doctor's also there. The Doctor's been tasked with stopping the creation of the Daleks.
Yeah.
The Daleks ultimately, as Davros's like own people start to turn against him, in the end the Daleks actually turn against Davros, and they end up pretty much killing all like the humanoid people who are helping Davros, and then they kill Davros himself, so they kill their own creator. Meanwhile, the Doctor isn't able to stop their creation, but he does seal them inside of a bunker for about 100 or so years. So he actually slows down their development by about 100, 200 years. So he saves like a load of lives in the process, but isn't able to actually stop the Daleks from being created.
Oh shit.
It's a very good story. Watching it does it more justice than I can explain it.
That's the only reason I said, that's why I said genocide, because he was trying to stop their creation, which from a point of view
There's a very good scene. There's 2 very good scenes in this episode. There's a scene where the Doctor and Davros just sit and talk about whether it's morally right for Davros to create the Daleks. And in that scene, the Doctor sort of puts it to Davros like, oh, if you could create like a virus that would kill loads of people, but it'd be a scientific breakthrough, would you still create that virus? And Davros ponders it for a little while, and he's like, yeah, no, fucking, I would create that virus. And that's kind of when you realize just how insane he actually is.
Crazy man.
And then there's another scene later in the last part where the Doctor finally has the chance to actually like blow up the Dalek mutants before they can develop, which would have killed the Daleks instantly, stopped them from ever existing. But then Doc sort of thinks to himself and has like this moral dilemma. If the way he puts it is, if someone pointed out a child to you and told you that that child would grow up to be like, I don't know, like Hitler or something, would you still be able to then kill the child? And like it's like this really like cool like deep philosophy piece in like this Doctor Who episode, which doesn't really fit, but it's really cool. I do really like that episode.
Beautiful screen time.
It's the classic Doctor Who episode I usually recommend the most, because a lot of classic Doctor Who's kind of like Marmite. Some of it's really good, some of it is fucking atrocious. So,
to be fair, Matt, it's either that one or Caves of Androzani that's like the go-to for classics.
Caves of Androzani is very good as well. That's a very good story. That one's more of like a Caves of Androzani is more of like a thriller piece though than it is like a philosophy sort of piece.
Oh yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Genesis of the Daleks has like a lot of like philosophical moments in it about whether this is right or wrong, and like sort of looking into genocide and Nazism and stuff. Caves of Androzani is that is a survival piece. Because Caves of Androzani is an episode where you just watch the Doctor just take L's for the entire episode, and you just see him have to keep getting up and keep going as he is slowly being killed. We're gonna move on to our next one.
the fifth.
I think what we're going to do here is actually split these into 2 parts because we are getting on a bit in time.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do is I'm going to get to the 6th Doctor, and then we're going to split these and finish these at the start of the next episode.
That's fair.
Yeah,
That's
let's do that.
Yep. Okay, well, Kush, the next episode I'm going to give you is called The 5 Doctors. This has one single part to it.
Oh,
One single part.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
So it's about an hour and a half long. It's one single episode.
Oh, okay. So, basically,
I love how you always started with so basically. You did the same in the Star Wars one. I love it.
listen,
Hey, give the man a break.
it's pretty obvious.
I'll give him a fucking round of applause, not a break.
Nah, it's pretty obvious how this is gonna go, you know. So obviously, there's 5 Doctors in this one, right? Obviously,
Yeah.
like, if it's named 5 Doctors, so there's gonna be 5 Doctors, right? But these Doctors have all come from a different universe. They've all come from a different
Okay.
universe.
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah. It's basically, yeah. So basically, it's a multiverse, basically, at this rate. How these Doctors came on, how all these Doctors come to the same universe? They don't know. They don't even know themselves. They just randomly appeared somehow in the same universe. And then there was some suspicion that grew around them that obviously.
I should mention this episode came out in 1983.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, but the multiverse still exists then.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the episode came out in 1983.
Oh,
I was giving
shit.
you the
Oh,
years
okay.
they came out.
Oh, okay. Okay, so
I think people know what a TARDIS is by 1983, don't you?
yeah, obviously, yeah. So obviously the TARD, yeah, people didn't know how it happened. You know how there's 5 Doctors in the same.
One more tidbit I will give you about this episode. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
This was the 20th anniversary special episode.
So it's like, well, actually, I don't know if you remember, like back in 2013, there was a 50th anniversary. It was sort of like that. It's a celebration.
Wait. So how many? Where this is the 5th one, right? The 5th Doctor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
50th.
the 5th Doctor,
So-
but this was the 20th anniversary of Doctor Who. This episode.
Basically, all those 5 Doctors are basically from all the other Doctors, you know. So like, and they all rejoin. They all come together to join forces for a fight, not against each other. They're all what's it? They go and
Why do you always have to fight?
wait, what?
You're like, oh, they all joined together for a fight. I was like, why do they always have to fight?
No,
fist fight,
no. They're not fighting. Sorry.
you
Wait.
messed them
They're
up.
not fighting.
Oh,
They're not fighting.
oh, they are fighting someone else.
They all join forces together to fight someone else.
Okay.
I have no idea who they're gonna fight. I can't think of any villains at this rate. But basically they.
The Spearhead man.
Nah, he's.
Yeah, man, and the plastic
Nah.
people.
Nah, they're dead.
The
They're dead.
Spearhead
Nah, that's it. They don't exist anymore. They no longer exist.
They're gone. They're dead.
They're dead. That's it. People.
Rest in peace,
Yeah,
Spearhead man.
there were too many. There were too many parts, so they got bored of it. That's why they binned them off. So there's no need.
That one only had 4 parts. That was War Games had 10 parts.
Nah. That's it. They saw 10 parts and they're like, nah, that's too much now. We have to. We need to cut. We need to cut it off short. That's why they did 1 part for this episode. That's it. They only did 1 part. That's why they only did 1.
From 10 to 1.
That's why they only did 1 part, and that's it. They've had enough, yeah.
It's like, now we've done 10. We've got to give them a break.
Yeah, we need.
Enough. 20 years later, they decided, yeah, we're just going to do 1 part.
Nah,
But
but
don't forget, 1.5 is worth 3 parts,
yeah,
technically, because each part of an episode is a half hour.
yeah.
So it's still a long time.
Nah, but basically in this one, all 5 Doctors from all the previous Doctor Who's as well and everything, they obviously join forces together to fight some bad guy, whoever the villain's in this one, and yeah, that's all I can put really to that episode really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they all get back to their own universes at the end?
Yeah, at the end,
Yeah.
they use the TARDIS to go back to
Yeah.
you know, their own universe, and yeah. But yeah, that's what I could say that for that. Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, it's pretty similar. To be honest, there's not really many ways you could go wrong with this one. To be honest,
No.
there are.
Right.
So you said there's 5 Doctors. All Doctors have come from different universes. They don't know how they all got to this universe. All 5 Doctors are the other actors to play the Doctor.
Yeah.
They all join together to fight some bad guy. At the end, they use the TARDIS to go back to their own
Yeah.
universes. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
There are 5 There's kind of 5 Doctors. So
yeah, technically four.
So technically 3.5. So
How many Doctors are there
by
then? What the
the
hell?
time this episode had come out,
How many...
well, no, there were 5 Doctors at this point. But when this episode came out, the actor who played the first Doctor had died.
Oh, right, makes sense.
So they used a different actor to play that Doctor, but he's still in the episode.
Right.
The second Doctor, the actor who played him returned. The actor who played the third Doctor returned. And obviously you had the actor who played the 5th Doctor, because he was still the Doctor. The actor who played the 4th Doctor decided he didn't want to do the episode, so they used old, unused footage for him.
Oh, that must be...
And didn't they try and make it in a time bubble or something like that?
Yeah, they said he was like put in a time bubble or something. Realistically, they wanted to get him in the episode for the advertising, but they didn't want to. But he wouldn't come back, so he just used old, unused
That
footage.
must have been shit then, to be honest.
So it's technically, yeah, there are 5 Doctors, but it's also like technically 3.5.
Yeah.
Because one of the actors had passed away and one of the actors didn't want to show up. So
The 3.5.
Oh, that makes sense now. Yeah.
I'd already had the 3. They didn't really use that.
I feel...
but no, instead of coming from different universes, they all just come from like different points of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, because the Doctor's a time traveler, there can be other Doctors pretty much any point. So they just cool to come together from different times. But they end up on a planet. They end up on their home planet in sort of like this like arena zone of the planet.
Yeah.
And like you said, they don't know how they got there. They don't know how they got there.
I do.
Then they've got to sort of go on sort of an expedition to this tower to find out how they got there. And then they do all join together to beat a bad guy at the end. The bad guy ends up being like the president of their home planet, who they all join together to fight and beat.
Do you remember, if I'm remembering, didn't the Time Lord send them there to fight? Well, because the Time of Rassilon was opening, and they sent them there to fight him, pretty much.
No, so the president put them in there, but like the Time Lords didn't know why they were in there.
Okay.
The president was just trying to like kill the Doctor and then claim immortality when the Doctor get there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But he failed, and then the Doctors joined together to beat him.
Yeah.
And then he tried to take immortality at the end, but then immortality was just like getting permanently placed into a part of the wall.
Okay.
To be stuck there. It's really kind of horrifying how the bad guy gets dealt with in this episode. There's like the tower they go to has like a legend that if you reach it, you can claim immortality. But it turns out when you get there, like the immortality you claim is being permanently like your body is like disintegrates, and like you are then permanently carved into a wall where your conscious will remain. But like
that's very depressing.
You're just stuck within a wall, essentially.
But then he comes back anyway in like 40 years. But
oh no, that wasn't Rassilon that gets carved into it. The guy who's put into the wall remains there for the rest of the show. He never comes back.
I thought there was Rassilon in that episode.
No, Rassilon is like dead in the episode, and then he comes back to life in the new episodes.
Oh, okay.
He's the one who places him into the wall. But yeah, and then they used the TARDIS to go back at the end, so you got that right. I think that's the closest you got one.
It does sound,
so far,
I was like, when you said, I was...
Alright, and... Alright, and now finally, for our final one today, we have The two doctors.
My God, I knew it when I said it.
The two
God, you're
doctors.
trying to- oh my
So,
God. That's another multi-doctor story, I guess. So you can.
So you had the 5 doctors, now you've got the
see,
2 doctors.
this one is either
Oh my God.
there's either two stories that I could come up here. Is either this one where there's like a clone doctor, yeah. There's a clone. Or this one could be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, they've brought
Clone
someone
Doctor.
from like a previous Doctor Who or something, and like another previous like Doctor or something, and yeah.
I'll give you a hint. They do
Okay,
bring
it's
back
probably the
another
last.
previous
It's probably
doctor.
the last one. Then they probably brought back apparently. They probably looked at that episode, that one-part episode, and went, "Wow, that was actually a really good episode." And then they were like, "Oh, let's."
I don't know how many parts this episode actually is.
I swear it was quite short. I swear it was only like
I think
three.
it's like 3.
For two,
Yeah,
I thought
3.
it
It's
was-
a 3-part episode.
Okay, so let's say, so 2 doctors. I don't really know what else. I could literally say the same thing for this one, for that one.
Should I help? Because the thing is, I know which doctors are in it, so I feel like already that's
Yeah,
two.
you help them with this one, Paul, if you
So,
want.
okay, so I know that so it's obviously Colin Baker. The other doctor who comes play is actually Patrick Troughton. So he's been in the the second
Oh, he's
doctor.
still alive, man.
All I really remember was those two, and there was a Sontaran or like a bunch of Sontarans, and they fought a bunch of Sontarans. That's all I remember from this.
So they basically brought back the second Doctor. Pretty weird. It could have been any other
Yeah.
Doctor, but they brought back the second one.
To work with the
But
sixth
you know,
Doctor.
they
He
could
was
have
a
brought
good
back any.
kid, but-
I think it's because he was the oldest, I think it was because he was the oldest living doctor at the time.
And
yeah,
more
that's true.
experience.
Actually, probably the only one who
Ooh,
wanted to come back
who
anyway.
did you say?
Yeah,
Oh,
The
Paul,
guy who played him
did you
wanted
say
to
the
return
villain was
anyway,
in this
so-
one? That the son. What's it called?
Yeah.
That's it.
It was a Sontaran, which ironically you said
Okay,
clones.
so basically-
the clones, so it's
Let's
But,
say
yeah,
this.
so
In this
Sontaran-
episode, the Centaurians or whatever come and invade the planet or wherever they're living on or whatever. And obviously he needed help. So the second Doctor, that's where the second Doctor comes in,
Yeah.
because obviously he knows about obviously about them, and he basically helps that Doctor to fight off the Centaurians or what.
The
which one?
Sixth Doctor.
Yeah, he helps the Sixth
The
Doctor.
Sixth
Yeah,
Doctor.
he helps the Sixth Doctor to fight these Centaurians, whatever, and then they restore Earth and everything's back to neutral again, and yeah, and then he fucks off back to his own universe if he does, or he probably dies. I don't know. You know what? Let's throw there. He actually dies. There you go. He dies.
So
Yeah, the second Doctor dies.
the second Doctor. But if he died, then the sixth Doctor would be dead as well.
They both die. Okay, now I'm joking.
He doesn't
okay,
die. He doesn't
okay.
die.
They both
He doesn't-
restore Earth again.
I mean, we already in the second Doctor episode we did the 10-part one.
Oh,
We told
shit.
you he dies at the end.
well, when he die, that just means that obviously regenerates. So that body dies, turns
Then he
into.
turns into the next Doctor or the
Yeah.
next actor to play the
I'll say
Doctor.
yeah. So yeah, that's what.
They're all like the same character. Right.
I'll tell you
So
what, that's a pretty good plot
Yeah.
actually, Kush. So I'm going with that. I'm sticking with
Alright, so the plot we've got from Kush's rundown here is the second Doctor returns, the Sontarans invade the planet, the second Doctor helps the sixth Doctor to fight the Sontarans, they defeat the Sontarans,
Yeah,
and the second Doctor doesn't
die.
die. It's kind of alright. This episode's not great, to be honest. It's probably like the weakest, multiple Doctors.
Yeah.
Essentially, what I believe sort of happens is the second Doctor gets taken. There is a kidnapping.
What?
Oh,
I believe the second Doctor actually gets taken captive by the
Wow. And
Sontarans
you
or
didn't
another
tell me-
race of
and you didn't
aliens that
give
are
me that
working with the
hint. Wow.
Sontarans. And no, and like the Sixth Doctor pretty much has to go and like rescue him from them. The Sontarans are there. They don't really, they look horrible. Like they look absolutely disgusting in this episode. Like the costumes were terrible in this one. But it's not a great episode. That's roughly what it is. Somewhat. There's a bit more to it than that. They go to like Italy or Venice or something like that. I don't remember. It's roughly pretty much what it is. But you might
okay.
that far off.
So basically, the second Doctor
No.
does come back, basically, and yeah, but
Yeah.
oh
yeah, the second Doctor does come back in this one. I kind of need to watch this. I need to rewatch this episode at some point. Like I don't really remember it, but
I
just
think I've never watched it, to be honest.
in great Doctor Who fashion, we're actually going to call it a cliffhanger there.
Yeah.
This episode's running on a bit long,
Yes.
and we are going to complete this in the next proper episode right at the start, and then we'll probably throw in like a ranking quiz or something.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll literally begin the episode like right where we leave off with this.
Yeah.
But that is going to be it for
29,
episode.
29, yeah.
What is it? 29 of the M.K.P podcast.
20,
Yeah. Episode 30 next. That's wild.
I know, that is amazing.
I might need to put a letterboxd in, mate. Instead, depends.
Yeah, maybe.
Ooh. I actually had a plan for that. We might have to postpone this for like a bonus, or do this in like a bonus episode or something. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll have a little
All
think.
right. Well, this has been the M.K.P podcast. I've been Matt, joined by again Paul the Pub and Kush the ketamine addict. I can't believe you missed that.
No, that's what I
Did
said.
you guys
What?
both
I was
miss
like,
that at the
what?
start of the episode?
I was like, what did?
What, calling you Catholic?
Yeah.
What did you call
Matt the man.
No,
I called
I
you
heard
Paul
that,
the
and I
Power,
was
and
like,
I called you Kush the ketamine.
Did you not hear that, Paul? He literally
Paul the
went,
Pat?
yeah, that's what
Kush,
I
were
was
you
like,
offended
what?
by his comments?
I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, I want to see a boxing match between the two of you.
No, letterbox fight. Letterbox fight.
Letterbox fight.
Letterbox. All right. We've been the podcast MKP. 2 episodes every. No, wait, we don't do that anymore, do we? New episodes every month. Bonus episodes will be out soon.
Yes.
They've recorded one about driving or something. I don't know. That'll be out soon.
Well,
And there should hopefully be a Rocky one out soon. I don't know if we're going to record that now or at a later date. We'll see. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Breaker, and Radio Public.
Let's go.
Nice. There we go.
Wow. And social media, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yep, TikTok.
Twitch. No. What else is there? Yahoo. Can you find it on Yahoo? Probably.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Search up the MKP podcast on Google. You might find us there.
I as an individual, I'm on IMDb, so you can find me on there.
I am an individual. I am on Letterboxd.
So am I.
I've got to find no reviews somehow. Anyway,
Me.
I've been Matt, joined by
Me.
Getting on.
Me.
For fuck's
Me.
sake. I was waiting for Kush and Paul individually.
Hello.
Yes.
I have been Matt, joined by me and hello.
And hello.
Other than that, come back, Kush, Paul. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
See you. Have a good time.
Good time.
I don't want them to have a good time.
See you later.